Hello there, COMM 140. This is your professor, Marc Yamaguchi. And you know I'm going to need to see one of those from you. That comes in due time. But for now, I'd like to open our very first pseudo session with a song. And maybe a dance if I leave my camera on. Heads up, yo. It's a great start to the summer. And one, and two, and one.
Picture yourself in a living room, your pipe and slippers set out for you. I know you think that it ain't too far, but I hear a call of a lifetime ring. Felt the need to get up for it. Oh, you cut out the middleman, you're free from the middleman. You got no time for the messenger, got no regard for the thing that you don't understand. You got no fear of the underdog, that's why you will not survive. I wanna forget how convention fits, but can I get out from under it? Can I cut it out of me? Oh, it can't all be wedding cake, it can't all be boiled away. I try but I can't let go of it, can't let go of it. We shouldn't talk with the water boy, and there's so much you could learn, but you don't want to know. You will not back up an inch of it, that's why you will not survive. Ah! The thing that I tell you now, it may not go over well. Oh, it may not be thought a while, the way that I spell it out. But you won't hear from the messenger. Don't wanna know about something that you don't understand. You got no fear of the underdog, that's why you will not survive. Right?
Oh dear. It was quite the violent end. Hey, I'm back. And I'm playing with this new system called class. Could be confused with literally a class, but it's a Microsoft Teams variation on Microsoft Teams. And it's built for online synchronous classes that we're now using instead of Zoom. So if any of you were once in the online era of synchronous classes, I mean, we were forced into the Zoom way back in the winter of 2020. The semester started in person, but we had no choice but to move in the ether from March until the end of that term. And the English department got really good at it. We continue to teach a lot of courses online. Some of you will elect to do asynchronous courses, which means you don't show up at a certain time of the week every week. That's a unique batch of students who have competing priorities, and they've elected to do their work, make sure they stay organized, and submit things online according to a deadline that's established by their professors. That will be shared in the coming weeks. But I do teach an asynchronous section of English, and it basically works like you've got a week to get things done, to take in the screen and the multiple modules. And sometimes there's an assignment that releases at the very beginning of the week, and you've got right up until the very end of the work week to complete it. But then there are something called assessments, which are more test-like in nature. So they would open on the final day of the week and have to be completed by the final day of the week. But what we mean by open is things turn over at 12:01 a.m. Things shut down at 11:59 p.m. So for example, if you were in an asynchronous course with me, you'd have an assignment that opens up on Monday morning, like right at the beginning of a Monday, 12:01 a.m. And it wouldn't close. This assignment would be available to work on at your pace right up until Friday of that week, 11:59 p.m. And no pumpkins, please. But if it were a test, it would open up at 12:01 a.m. Friday and then shut down at 11:59 p.m. that same Friday. So if it were a test, that's called an assessment, it would have to be done in a tighter time frame. But with assignments, you usually get a week. And that is where we bridge with these in-person classes, which have an assignment component, but mostly the assessments, the tests, they're done in person in the assigned classroom at the appropriate campus. And as you could tell, I'm trying to create this universal message. Welcome to COMM 140 that can apply across multiple sections that I'll be teaching this summer. Again, my name is Mark J. Yamaguchi, and I'm very happy to be with you. I've taught at Centennial since 2010. You might read about me, but there's not a whole lot more to say in the, Meet Your Professor. There it is, module. And just by clicking and having some fun, like trial and error, yes, contact lenses today. I wanted to look my best for you, my pretties. The way to contact me is through my Centennial email, a little bit old school. There is something called messages in Luminate, because I think everyone got a taste of it last semester. If you were registered at Centennial in the winter, you know what I'm talking about. There's this convenient little tab, and it feels like you've got instant access to your professor, but that thing like piles up like crazy. It is an inefficient way to get a hold of me, and I'm telling you, the bat line, bat signal is attended to within 24 hours. I'm not sure how else to put it. I can't be super immediate, but I will get back to you within one business day. So if you're sending me an email like late Friday night, it's not going to be replied to until Monday morning, to be fair. But if it's coming out like on a Tuesday, I'm getting back to you on a Wednesday, and it's much easier for me to track, and it officially marks the time and date in which you began the discussion for something urgent. I'm assuming like if you got to email me, it's to let me know about something that's imminent and impeding your ability to get done what you need to get done. And there are things that need to get done. It's not going to tell you here. No, we're going to have to back up a little bit and remember that these modules have multiple files, and I wanted to streamline it for you by giving you an early introduction. It's like I'm curating the content initially. This is all stuff you can do on your own. I know you're perfectly capable of clicking. I'm the digital immigrant. You're the digital native. And so I'm sure you can figure this out, no problem. We have here a course outline. We have here an evaluation schedule, even the place to go get your textbooks, because in 140, we have this bad boy. I know it's pixelated. Apologies. I've got this Star Trek pixelated background that messes with the materials that oh, for goodness sakes. There it is. Grassroots, 12th edition. It has a mind tap component that's magnificent. It's 10% of your grade as well. It's a very cool, hey, I'll grade you in real time. The brain at Cengage gives you the immediate feedback that I can't do. I return things to everybody within a week. That's my turnaround, right? Because we teach multiple classes. You got to give the teacher some slack here. Everybody at Centennial teaches multiple courses, right? So there's a lot of students that they write things. I know it's our bad. We make you write things, and then we have to grade it. But we need some time to get it back to you. And in my line of work, I like to get things done within a week. So the very next day I see you, you got your results. Sound fair? But I'm saying that this clickable contains like some hyperlinks that will help make that job easier, like connecting with our bookstore. They sell the hard copy. I'm old school, right? But they also sell the one that's mandatory. You have to get at least the e-subscription, and you want to elect the Mind Tap, not just like the e-textbook. It's cheaper. The Mind Tap, I think, is maybe $20 more, but it contains the assignments that are worth 10% of your grade, that automatically integrate with your grade book. You get the picture. It happens to be sold through the bookstore online with a debit card or a credit card. Really easy peasy. And when you do click and the appropriate campus, right? Because, for example, I teach my first 140 at Ashtonby. You want to go there because when you are asked to plug in your user credentials, that's your student number, they will give you everything you need to buy. It's not just English. I know. We tend to be prima donnas, right, in the English department. And there are lots of courses that you have to take. I appreciate you're busy. You got summer jobs. But the mandatory thing to do is to get your textbooks to support your learning. MindTap is mandatory. We want you to get this because it comes with the textbook, right? It provides you an e-textbook, which most of you opt for anyway. I got this feeling this is the generation that does not like to lug around heavy textbooks. But if you want, you can spend a little more money on a used copy. There's plenty of these grassroots lying around on the internet. I mean, like gently used through Amazon. It's an American edition, so my God, there's so many of them. You'll get a great price for the used copy. Doesn't do anything though for the MindTap for this semester, in which 10% of your grades are intertwined. So we're asking that you go there or even check out what Cengage can give you direct. That's the publisher of the Grassroots, right? They sell a bunch of textbooks in bulk to our bookstore, but they also offer just with a credit card though. It won't accept a debit card like the bookstore does. They offer you that added convenience, which you can do online in both cases. I mean, you are welcome to go down the hall and pop in the bookstore at either Morningside campus or Ashby campus, even Progress campus, and they'll sell you a bundle, like the hard copy. They'll want to sell you the hard copy textbook because it's a bookstore, right? Books need to be on shelves to look like a bookstore. But they also sell just the cardboard envelope. That would be the access code that you need to purchase. And that's what gives you the online subscription, the access to the MindTap assignments worth 10%. This is stuff that I'll go over in class in person, and possibly for my asynchronous group. I call them the async boy band. Bad joke, I know, but I love Justin Timberlake. Forgive me. The asynchronous group will need to be a little bit more, we call self-directed. But within person, you get to hear it again ad nauseum sometimes. But usually in the first couple of weeks, we like to repeat the message because we know not everybody is going to be in class the first day due to registration complications or scheduling time conflicts. That every semester we get people arriving for the first time in week 3, sometimes week 4. But please make sure that you are taking in the announcements, right, where this video is going to be posted, hopefully, and that you get into a rhythm of input, weekly input, figuring out where in your busy schedule you can dedicate some time to your English studies. I promise you, I'm going to work hard to support you and make sure that not too much homework beyond the classroom. And for us that are in person, we're assigned 3 hours of work. So for you that may be asynchronous, you want to count on giving about 3 hours of your work week towards English. You got to make space for it, though. It's so easy with asynchronous to let things slide. And then before you know it, it's too late. We have to keep to a schedule because, man, there are rules, right? And we are saying that in the course outline, you have a formal document here, and it posts, gosh, I don't even know if my dialog box is getting in the way here. This is all new, but I can see myself in one corner of my screen. Maybe it's different for you. What I am trying to feature here is the official receipt for the course, which shows you, what the textbook is going to be. There it is, the Grassroots 12th edition, what the the evaluation scheme is. There it is. There's a lot of points to keep track of, but we are also posting a separate evaluation schedule, which I'll show you next. Before I get to that, though, program, school policies, right? This is standard on all your course outlines at the college. Every course will have a COCO. We nickname it COCO, but it's a course outline, and policies on late submissions, whether or not you get a makeup, if it's supported with documentation, like a doctor's note. These are all laid out for you here. This document is a little cumbersome. If you notice here, my cursor has circled the number 16. Do not print this. Save it. Put this PDF someplace safe because you might need it when you transfer from one school to the other, one college to another. You want to show that you were able to do the learning outcomes that are officially posted here. And that's the receipt for doing the course. The bottom half of it, oh my gosh, that's ambitious. Whoa, look at all that work. We try to get it done. But there's no promise, there's no guarantee that all this gets covered from 1 week to the next. I mean, it's just 3 hours together. And if you're asynchronous, then you don't beat yourself up for not getting all of it done. As an asynchronous professor, I will post a video that helps people gauge how much effort, what is essential versus what is complementary. Things that you might pass on because you feel capable and strong enough, and therefore would rather spend your energies on an area that you feel you need to work on. So that's where asynchronous is different from the in-person, the natural touch. I think that you have that immediacy when you're in a classroom to raise your hand, interrupt the professor, and tell him when he's talking too fast, or he said something you didn't quite understand. You'd like him to repeat and possibly paraphrase what he said, put it in other words so that it's nice and clear. But, one thing about this chart is that it is nice and clear about dates and when things are due, when tests are going to happen. And yet, I do find this a little unwieldy. So I would recommend, if you're in a hurry, you're looking for a nice shortcut that's reliable, not a shortcut that's going to shortchange you. Then you click the evaluation schedule and you'll find Yamaguchi's trademark 1-pager. Print this one. This is the one you want to print. What's it all about? Well, 14 weeks at a glance, lays out everything that has grades attached to it. So it gives you a sense of like, well, week 5, that's an important one. There's 15% on the line, right? There's a reading and writing test that happens in week 5. It's not for a while, but just to give you a sense of, how the course works, how we ease you into things. Like we got these little 2%ers. Oh, there's a 3%er. But these, basically guide you throughout the 14 weeks. And there you go. We got a week off. Woo! Everybody loves to party, right, in the summer. So that happens right at the end of June. And these dates, I don't know, maybe they help you schedule or program your summer vacation. You need to leave town. I mean, hey, you could do things online, even if you're an in-person student and decide I'm not going to be in class this day. You want to make sure that you're not forfeiting something without due cause. You will have to provide some kind of legitimate documentation to miss a test. Otherwise, it's common sense. Like if you say, look, I can only see, for example, an assigned summary, May 28th. This is not the long weekend in May, but you could ostensibly do this from home, right? So if something came up, you'd be in the clear. You wouldn't have to necessarily attend, but we hope that every week you come, every time you apply yourself, that you will get something from it. Like whether you're watching a video that I've posted for asynchronous classmates, or you're in person with me, there'll always be lesson content material available to discuss and to practice with, and to really take our time. Like by coming to class, it just makes things a little more digestible because you can handle it 1 week at a time, versus skipping a bunch of classes, then being thrown into the mix, right? Like missing weeks 2, 3, 4, and then showing up in week 5 is not a recipe for disaster, but it does work against you, right? Odds are you won't do as well if you had been in class taking some notes, possibly learning how the Illuminate works. Sometimes I'm making errors too, so I'm correcting myself, and you'd only know if I corrected myself unless I shared it with you in class in real time, or I've made mention. I've basically put it into a video and said, hey, watch out, here it comes. This course is divided into 7 weeks and 7 weeks. I just want to make it super clear. I am with you for the first 7. There's another professor coming. Stranger danger, stranger danger. The next professor takes over in week 8. And so these dates that got lots of like jazz next to it, you see all these like blip, 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 these double asterisks, they are indicating tentative dates for these assessments that have to be done, but your next professor will confirm that these are in fact the weeks in which your next professor will run the tests or assign something to take home and work on. The mind taps are pretty regular though. These should be set up soon. Just we haven't yet received our instructor course keys to make it available through our Luminate course shell. It's a really convenient thing to have it embedded in our Luminate course shell, because then you don't have to go to a separate tab to log in under Cengage credentials. And by the way, they should be my Centennial email. Okay, do not use personal email. If they ever ask you for an email as the user default, it's my Centennial. You have to put in your my Centennial credentials. Very, very, very important. But you know, apart from MindTap and the first 7 weeks, the second half of the course will be decided by you and your next professor. And we'll discuss closer to engagement week who that next professor will be. All right. So it's great to be with you for the first 7. I'm super excited about how things are set up here. This assessments tab, well, guess what? There are folders and there are weeks, and there's going to be something in there that releases, and then you'll go to work, and we'll make sure that you know where it is and how to click on it. But I figure with 1 semester under your belt, most likely you've been at Centennial for at least a semester. But if you haven't, don't sweat it. We'll make sure we can show you how it works, and that becomes second nature very quickly. Just more practice, the better, right? But we start off really easy, where we're going to do like a pre-course writing sample. It's like read something, write about it. And then you also have to introduce yourselves. It's not fair. That's only me doing all the heavy lifting here with the video. But you will post a very brief one in which you dangle one of these. It could be other photo ID, like a driver's license. It could be like a PR card, like a passport. It's private, it's confidential. This video that you're posting into the Luminate, just for me. It is not publicly shared. Don't worry. That's where you're going to collect 2% as well. It's your first assignment. It's kind of like a test using the technology and making sure that you properly register for our course, that you count, that your voice matters, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And then the more heavy material comes later, like 3%. Notice it's increasing. There's the reading and writing test. As you uncover these, you'll note that most of them are locked, right? Because it's not time. We're getting way ahead of ourselves here. That will release in week 7. That's June, mid-June. And there's no point, right, in going into this, because it's just going to overwhelm you. So we take it nice and easy, 1 week at a time. And the assessments tab floats near the very top, right? After course essentials and your outline, evaluation schedule, we get down to work. There they are. Weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love the count. I don't know why he's not part of Sesame Street anymore. Did he do something bad off camera? You should bring back the count. Right now, we have just 3 weeks of material. And believe me, it's a lot of material. So it's not like you need to have any more. But the bubble, like when you click on the number 2 or the number 3, it opens up a whole bunch more files, just like the ones above. So these modules are really the course content that I showed you from that massive course outline topical 16-page thing. These are the practical pieces that work in conjunction with this textbook, right? So the course is modeled off this textbook. I want you to feel like, yeah, it's worth it, the purchase. I mean, it costs a little bit more, but we're an English course. Like, can you imagine doing English without a book? That's how I see it. So maybe I'm biased, but I don't make any money by selling textbooks. What I do is pass people who get it and try it and make good on it, right? So I think I've put down now everything I need initially and don't want to go any further because I'm in jeopardy of really boring you to tears, overwhelming you with information, and frankly being just counterproductive. So if I stop sharing for a moment and like I just let you know, it's going to be exciting to meet everybody for the first time, and I'm happy to be coming in at this level. My specialty is actually 142. So I'm a foundations coordinator, and we have like a sister course, right? 142, mostly attended by international students. But because I'm a foundations coordinator, you know, I've been working at the lower levels as opposed to the 170, which is where you're going to go eventually. Our job in 140 is to get you good and ready for 160. We have like a scaffolding approach. And what it means is that you go in actually throughout your time at Centennial, your communication skills get a little bit stronger. So each semester you've got the support that's moving upwards in terms of, you know, bringing your A game to all of your courses. You know, communication is very important. It, you know, puts the icing on the cake. You probably have the cake. You got the nuts and bolts. But with English and communications, we like to think we can create distinction. We can give you a little bit of flair that's impressive with your audiences and earns you the respect that we all love. Now, you all take care, and we'll see you soon for our very first class together. We'll discuss some more, maybe even play a little music together. It will be my pleasure.